First and foremost, our purpose for racing here today is to help Operation Motorsport. So be patient, show respect to other drivers, as today's race features a broad range of drivers in terms of experience. Some will be lots of experience, some not so much. Many of us work together in other Porsche Club of America events such as the Team Racing Series and traditional PCA Series races. But the rules for today's events are simplified, slightly modified from the rules we normally run together. So please listen carefully to today's meeting information. Keep in mind also that public communications are given special treatment by the OPMO rulebook. So maintain patience, some decorum, and do not call out another driver. The first time it happens, your mic will be muted. Second time is good for 30 seconds in your pit stall. And the third time, you're getting your walking papers. So we don't want to go there. Please don't do it. Don't call out other drivers. Now, race control has the authority after the admin review process to disqualify any team if the driver is determined to maliciously try to damage another car, intent wrecks, things of that sort, or to verbally insult or abuse another driver. So retaliatory incidents may lead to the team being disqualified by the race admin. So with that fun stuff out of the way, each car gets 2 fast repairs today as damage is enabled. And iRacing's race control will deliver its first automatic penalty at 50 X's. After that, every 100 minutes. And the safety incident points are unlimited, so no DQ should be issued. And if you do get a drive-through penalty versus an in your pit stall penalty, just remember not to cheat through the pit boxes or stop in your pit stall for a drive-through penalty because iRacing's race control won't clear it. So stay fully on pit road and do not speed if you need to clear a drive-through penalty. I noticed it's a pretty long pit road too, so it's going to take a little extra for an endurance event. Now if you do get an iRacing automated DQ, let race control know, as all DQ actions are to be reviewed and approved by race admin before being taken by the human race control. So an AI-administered DQ, in other words, one that doesn't come from us, it's likely to be reversed by hand. So if iRacing automatically DQs you, let us know, we'll look into it, take care of it. Now this is a daytime race. We'll see variable clouds, seasonable temperatures with no rain in the forecast. So we're looking at a dry track. I mean, it's a perfect day for racing. The initial start is some important information here. It's going to be on the roll. It's a short parade lap, so you're ready to go on the green. And for that shortened pace lap, remember to keep your lines straight, maintain front-to-back spacing without lagging behind or lurching ahead. Keep her steady and close any case gaps gently. You don't want to use that as a tire warming opportunity. You're probably going to hit somebody. Now the grid is set so that the GTPs will be grouped, followed by the group of GT3Rs. The fastest qualifier in the GT3R controls the pace for that group of cars. And that leader of the GT3Rs should allow at least 8 car lengths to the last car in the GTP on the grid. And at that point, you want to be careful to maintain your pace speed once you establish that gap between the GTPs and the GT3Rs to prevent a checkup among the GT3Rs. In other words, you don't want to have to slow down later to maintain the gap. You just keep pace speed so that you don't cause a mishap in that half of the field. There are no full course cautions, so respect the local cautions. You want to avoid passing or recklessness near other incidents. Get through it safely, get by safely before you resume ordinary racing. In other words, don't use that as an opportunity to snipe a position or whatnot. We'll look at the local cautions with an eagle's eye. Now, because this race is a 6-hour endurance race, and for the sake of a great broadcast for this charity event, I urge all the drivers in all the classes to show off a gentle race start so we can get a clean transition into and through turn 1 at La Source before you begin the hard racing. Now that downhill stretch before the Rouge, down Camel Straight into Lacombe at turn 5. That's going to allow us to kind of open up the race and let it go normally from there. So let's try to be careful on the start. Let's take it easy till we get around that hairpin. Make it look good for the broadcast, and obviously that's going to set the tone for a better 6-hour event, which should be a whole lot of fun. Now, with regard to the penalties, race control regards an incident of at least 2 cars making contact, with one of them being turned to spun or damaged. Now, this definition objectively narrows the types of mishaps for which penalties will be given. So, at the end of the day, you just want to avoid contact. Now, when you're passing, the overtaking driver carries the most responsibility for passing safely. So, if you can't reach the rear axle of the overtaken car with your front axle before the turn-in, it's too late to pass. The hole that you see is closing rapidly. You may be in a blind spot. There will likely be contact. There could be an incident, and it will be your fault. So be prepared to back off and follow if there's any doubt. You got 6 hours to sort this all out. You don't have to go crazy in these corners. Now on the straights, you get 1 defensive move before the braking zone. A second defensive move, we might penalize that as illegal blocking. So if you're a driver and you need a blocking or an egregious blue flag situation looked at, use the comms to let us know by announcing your car number. Not your name, use your car number. And also have maybe a spotter or a teammate type the request in all drivers for us if possible. And repeat your request after a moment if we don't acknowledge over comms with car number X under review. We will read back that we're working on your request. So again, remember, public communications are limited to requests for reviews directly to and from race control, as mentioned earlier, so keep all public communications limited to race control requests. Now note that race control does not traditionally regard breaking the draft as a defensive move as long as it doesn't block or impede another car's progress through the course. But depending on the situation, I still might, so it's best to avoid sneaking more than once on those straights. Now the penalties given in the first 10 minutes of the race time, they're enhanced to a 30-second hold in your pit stall. There'll be a drive-through from then on. Again, except for penalties occurring within the first 10 minutes of race time, all race control penalties for the bulk of the race will be drive-throughs only. Now, except for AI-administered DQs, all the iRacing AI penalties must be fulfilled. We won't clear those. So keep that in mind. Now, once one last thing here, once today's race concludes, the winning team members in each of the race car classes should join the Opmo 2025 Discord, broadcast, interview waiting room for your post-race interviews. So please be prepared to use the push-to-talk button to speak during your interview, as that's how Discord is set up in that channel. Now, that's it for now. Good luck, you guys. All you drivers, have a fun race today, and please donate to Operation Motorsports. It's a great organization that does great things for great people. Okay, the comms are now open briefly if anybody has any questions. Good luck.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Michael.
Much of seriousness as we normally do with our normal endurance races. With this being a special endurance race, I think that things are just going.
Yeah, just one question on the defensive rules thing, which is not under snaking. So, is it allowed to be one defensive move and then a return to the racing line, or the offensive move only?
Yeah, that's a good question, because it does happen, especially when you want to return to the racing line for the next corner entry. And a return to the racing line can, in some cases, if it's got some violence to it, sometimes it looks a little bit like a defensive move, and we'll look at that on a case-by-case basis. But in general, a return to the racing line is not considered a defensive move. A return to the racing line.
Thank you, Connor. Good luck, guys, and thank you very much for offering the event for us as well. Stallions, GPBX, and T3R, happy to be here. Thanks for joining up, and good luck, everybody.
darkness or indeed any rain driving here today.
On behalf of the Paddock Motorsports, we want to say thank you very much for putting on such a great event for all of our veterans. And all teams have a great day, and let's put on a show.
Dry air, so that's working in these team's favor. It's just under 5 minutes left in this warm-up session as we're watching these cars kind of shake down, get themselves ready for the race here shortly. And again, it will be a rolling start, but thankfully it looks like it's going to be a nice dry setting right now. Our fastest time looks to be
A question on the GT3 start. We go as we reach the first finish line, right? Not on green.
Good afternoon to everybody who's watching along as well at home for this one. Jason Taylor, Jason Leach, already messaging.
Yeah, that's correct. And in fact, on the race start, we kind of want to watch for, it's going to be tough to see if you're further back in the pack on the GT3Rs, but you basically don't want to, kick off your race and start making moves until honestly past you get through the source, through the turn 1 hairpin. But you'd want to accelerate on the green as your race leader goes. And by race leader, I'm referring to the GT3R pole sitter. So your fastest qualifier there, but let's try to roll easy down that front stretch until we get in and around turn 1 before you really pour on the pole.
Alright. And they're in a good position, ready for this race. To be coming up in a few rounds time if you can plot this session and start towards the front. You're going to have a better chance of winning, of course. You'd imagine that track position relatively important just to stay out of that trouble that may well transpire in the early moments of this race.
Maybe it's me, but when I take a look at warm-up sessions, I don't necessarily take too much stock in it because you're trying different things, trying to see, okay, what's this setup going to do? What's this driver going to do? So you're not necessarily going for the fastest lap. I mean, yeah, that's great and all to be the fastest in your warm-up session, but it's just a quick little, let's shake down, make sure the car's good, nothing's leaking, nothing's going wrong. Just that little session just before the race. But yeah, I mean, when you are the fastest, don't get me wrong, you feel better going into the race, but again, not too much stock in warm-up. It's just there to get literally everybody warmed up.
Yeah, and actually, Brad Dalton, his colleague at Racepot TV, often describes it as a cool-down session rather than a warm-up session, really, because after all, we've just had qualifying. You're getting all sweaty trying to do one-lap pace quick as possible, which is very difficult, and then you sort of need that little bit of a break, really, before the race. So maybe it depends what kind of driver you are, really, as to whether you're going to use that session at all for practice, or whether you're just going to use it for warming down, as I say, and just preparing yourself for the race as well. And a number of drivers already chatting away in the discussion channel here of this of the Discord about keeping things clean through Eau Rouge for the first time. That is going to be the main target here to begin with. Let's just have a clean first lap, and then they can push on from there. Hopefully, everybody's going to have that endurance racing mentality when we begin here.
So I was doing the real job on Friday. I was actually watching the 98 Belgian Grand Prix right from the start. Because somebody had it to where if they had the current graphics for classic races. So, that's something you want to avoid. But I think with us having dry conditions, we're not going to have to worry about that too much with, driver slip sliding away. It's just, getting around that, the GTP's getting around the GT3 traffic as we see here. That's another good reason for the warm-up. Kind of get yourself mentally in the game to have to worry about slower traffic when you have to deal with them in, probably like 5 or 6 laps.
It's going to be a lot of traffic here today. There are less GT3s than there are 963s. However, it's still going to be a key factor over the course of the race. There's going to be plenty of those lapped traffic instances. Good afternoon to well, maybe drivers, but viewers tuning in here this afternoon. Aaron Sunday cheering on Stallions team as always. Adrian cheering on the Solpep Precision Racing team. We've got a couple of teams in this race today. Fabrizio Rivera is going to start number 161 by looks things. This is just doing warm-up for the hell of it right now. Robbie Prescott is going to do 919. Blake Reynolds is going to start 160. So a number of different cars for Solpec. Their other one is 991. It's Dominic Olivier who's going to start that one. So they've got 4 in the field. They make up quite a percentage of the field to Solpec Precision Racing. as they join us here in the Operation Motorsport 6 hours of Spa this afternoon, which will be getting underway before too long here in this race, and we'll go through the starting grid when we have a chance a little bit later on as we get towards the race. And indeed we might well have a chance in the next couple of moments, because that warm-up session has now just drawn to a close, and when we get it we will show you that starting grid ready for the beginning of this race. You can see the session just transforming there, and then we will get a look at the conditions as well as to what this is going to look like to begin with. But let's go through the starting grid first of all, starting with the 963 Pro class. Scott Rankin should be on pole here, just 27 thousandths quicker than
One to go, next time by. Line up on the left side. The estimated SOS is 2,225. Pit road is closed right now. Take opportunity.
A little bit further behind, we are going to see 7th
P6, the track temp is 29 Celsius, the air temp is 19.
Series teams, of course. Billy Smith for second will be on the pole for 963 AM, ahead of Elias Roman. It's Christopher Stevenson ahead of Jason Lockwood on row 2. He's just over a second off of pole.
Rolling start, get ready. Follow car number 453 in the left lane.
5th and 6th. Chip Witt is in next ahead of Mehmet Karachai. Then it's Charlie
Safety
Boyer
car
and
speed
Rob
is
Marvel.
69 kilometers per hour.
It's slightly erroneous here.
Catch up, 900, car, catch up, 79, car, catch up, 93, car.
Back end of the field in 963 AM.
Car 35, please wait for the GT3Rs to clear your pit box before you begin. Same for 917.
Get ready, going green. Take car
Alright,
and
Yoka,
off.
are you ready? Watch for the lights.
It's time for the 2025 race. The Operation Motorsport 6 hours of Spa set to get underway. At the front of the field, these 963 Pro drivers getting themselves ready as they come down the front straight for the first time and go past the start-finish line on this normal Grand Prix circuit start line. And then they will take the turn 1 and take that position in towards Eau Rouge for the actual green flag of this race.
Green
Let's
flag,
go.
green flag.
Just in the background, we'll go to pit screen for you on this start as they go through the source for the first time. And the green flag is about to be waved.
Alright.
6 hours of start.
Still
Hold
there.
your line.
This afternoon.
Right side's clear.
You're on the right.
Eau Rouge.
6 hours of start for Operation Motorsport is now underway. And the drivers are ready.
Slow down. You got a penalty for cutting the corner.
Need to slow down, give back some time. Start's okay, let's get stuck in. The car in front of us is now car number 220. Yellow flag. There's an incident in Le Coup.
Slow car ahead. Car stopped ahead.
Yellow flag.
Go right.
Okay, Yoka, hold your nerve, just keep it smooth, no mistakes. rotate. Just on the penalty. Gap to car number 32 behind is now 0.46. You'll need to slow down if you don't want a penalty. Car on your left, clear left, the outside, car on your left, clear. Abandon bank. Okay, Yucca, the next car is car number 022, B license. Right side. Clear right. Clear. Make them do the work. Eighth place. Gap to car number 022. Ahead is now 0.9. Ahead is now 0.7. Right, clear right, clear, car right, clear right, clear. this fucker. Ahead is now 0.8.
Feedback, left for you.
The gap opening early. It's now right back again. Focus forward, so I'm trying to get past. Chris Pike, but also having to look over his shoulder a little bit. And that's going to be behind him now as well. Whether they have damage to it again. Just close in a little bit as a result.
Front is now 0.7. Car number 022 in front is now 0.9.
Just 55, left for 50.
Okay, Yoka, you're reeling. Car number 022 in. The gap is 0.7. Come on, just fucking send it. car number 022 ahead is increasing. It's now 0.9.
You're losing on the cars first. The gap is 1.3 seconds. The leader just did a 19.651.
The gap to car number 022 ahead is now 1.1. P8. Car number 022 ahead is increasing. It's now 1.3 seconds. You're being caught by the faster class cars. Flag.
Faster traffic approaching.
Clear left, clear. There's a group of faster cars behind. They're racing for position. Gap to car number 022 ahead is now 3.4 seconds. Blue flag. Right. Clear right. Clear. Blue flag. Car right. Car up. Clear right. Clear on the right. Car on the left side. Clear left. Clear. There's a group of faster cars behind you. They're racing for position. Car number 991 is getting closer. Gaps now. Faster approaching. Continue entering La Source. Pay attention to track limits. Please, Yoka. Car left. Click car left.
Still there, hold your line. Clear on the left.
Car left. Blue flag, clear left.
Clear on the left.
Side's clear. Green flag.
You're losing on the car in front. The gap is 3.1 seconds.
We've been warned about track limits.
And I think, yeah, just locked up the brakes going around, heading into the brake zone.
There's a faster class car
We've got
behind.
damage on the front end.
Solo incident, really.
Reduced aero might slow you down on the straight.
So close behind, but there we go. There is our club race in turn on your screen.
Alright, Yoka, you just cut the track. The car ahead is car number 46, B licence, and their rating is 1.4.
The top right-hand side of the screen, or indeed the old-fashioned
What's your speed limit in the pits? Pit lane speed limit is 72 kilometres per hour. We'll need to stop again to get to the end.
Here this afternoon. This is the front of the race. Bowdress, Reminick and Thomas Briggs. First time for traffic. Reminick was just caught up a little bit by Thomas Briggs, who's now right on the back end through the Con chicane for the first time. Not for the first time, sorry, but for the first time since they've come through all that traffic.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting battle here because now it's just them and the
Pit
track
box
ahead of them.
in
But they still got a little bit of gap until they have to worry about lap traffic.
Box in 4, 3, 2, 1. Box now.
Right here.
Remijak as this is going to be an interesting battle. See what happens. Is Remijak able to open up just about
Right
half
front,
second gap
88%.
between Briggs.
Rear
Here's
right,
a replay
91.
With John Salata in the 46, you see, just comes down on some GT3 traffic and gets spun around, and that's going to
That's it,
happen.
go.
Here, but you got to watch your mirrors as you the traffic as well. And Baka also dealing with a little bit of an issue here. And once again, spin cycle heavy into the wall.
It takes it's clear. Push. The driver in front of us is Masters, car number 109. Their rating is 1.5. The gap to Masters in front is now 8.6 seconds. Okay, Yoko, that's the car approaching. It's their class leader.
Group of faster cars approaching.
Left side. Clear left.
Clear on the left.
Flag.
Right
Clear right.
side.
Clear right.
Clear on the right.
The gap to Masters. Ahead is now 7.6 seconds.
We've got damage on the back end. Reduced aero might slow you down on the straight. You're losing on the car in front. The gap is 7.7.
That's the car bearing down on the end. These guys are scrapping for position.
God damn it.
Track limits.
Sim Racer Academy achieved the 963, also with a healthy lead there.
Front right, 84%. Right rear, 87.
All the damage is repairable.